So how's your day going?
Pretty good. How's yours?
It's going all right. How many classes have you had?
2.
What'd you have?
I had Advanced Public Communications and Discourse Analysis.
How'd those go?
Okay.
All right. Sounds fun. So, tell me about your childhood.
Well, what do you want to know specifically?
Anything.
Well, one time when I was in 4th grade, I got a scar on my forehead, as you can see right here.
I can.
Would you like to hear the story about that?
I would.
So, one day, 4th grade, come to school thinking it's going to be the greatest day ever. And get to class, and my teacher tells us to sit down and get ready for the day. I'm all pumped. I'm sitting there with my best friend, Brenna. We're talking about how excited we are because we just know what's coming up. And Miss Yor tells us that we're going to Pioneer Park for the day. And it's pretty exciting. We got pretty riled up about that.
Does sound like it'd be a pretty fun day.
It was.
How long had you known Brenna?
About 2 years, I would say. But, 2 years, best friend.
Yes, of course.
So we sit down, and our teacher tells us that we're going to Pioneer Park, but first we gotta put our tennis shoes on, grab a water bottle, and pack our lunch. So we get all our stuff together, go to pack our lunch, and line up quietly, till she figures out what she wants us to do next. So we go line up in front of the school, and she tells us to stay together in a line, and pretty much we have to walk safely the whole way to Pioneer Park.
Was this line in alphabetical order?
It was not.
I remember back in the day we were always in alphabetical order for lines.
Our school didn't do that. So we are lined up, and this walk's probably 25 minutes, but for a little 4th grader, that was a long walk. So my friend Brenna, that I mentioned before,
Yes, Brenna.
she had very little legs. She was a pretty short kid. So she asked me about maybe 5-10 minutes into the walk if I can give her a piggyback ride. So I agree and tell her, yeah, that's fine. I have longer legs than her. So she hops on my back, and we're probably about 5 blocks from Pioneer Park now. And I start getting really, really tired. Start kind of dragging my feet along the ground. Don't really know how much longer I can have her on my back. You know what I'm saying?
How long had it been at that point?
I would say almost 20 minutes.
That's impressive.
It was a long walk. So she is just riding along, and I'm about to tell her that she needs to get off my back because I can barely pick up my feet anymore. I'm pretty tired myself.
Carrying the team on your back, I feel ya.
And so she is about to get off my back, and all of a sudden I trip on the sidewalk. And there was like a uneven part in the road, in the sidewalk, and I wasn't picking up my feet, and so I just fell right on my face.
Those thresholds.
And so she flew off my back, and my first instinct wasn't to catch myself with my hands. My first instinct was to hold on to Brenna. So I fall flat on my face, and my head hits the sidewalk, and I kind of blacked out for a minute, and I woke up, and my teacher is right in my face, screaming at me. And for a little 4th grader, that was traumatizing. I was even more scared after that happened. She's screaming at me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm looking around, and I don't really know what happened. And I look across the sidewalk, and Brenna's on the other side, and she's sitting over there. She looks like she's okay, which is good. And my teacher's like, "Does your head hurt?" And I didn't even realize that my head had even hurt. I felt like I was just kind of in shock. And so I felt my head and realized that I was gushing blood, and looked at my hand and started to cry. And so I had to walk my little legs all the way to Pioneer Park, and there met the school nurse in a van. So I got in the van with the school nurse, and she takes me to school where my mom is meeting me. And my mom gets there, and she acts like I got hit by a bus. And so she looks at my teeth because I had an expander in my mouth, you know, those big hunks of gunk in your mouth that spread your teeth apart.
Yeah, those are unfortunate.
Yeah, and that was not fun to have. So my mom was pretty nervous that was messed up. So
Did you get picked on at all for that?
oh yeah, I mean, I had a lisp because of it. So my mom looks at my teeth and she's like, where do you want to go first, the doctor or the orthodontist? And my mom, obviously freaking out, she chose for me. We went to the orthodontist. And they are on lunch break when this happens. So my mom goes up to the door and is frantically pounding on the front door of this orthodontics office. And finally someone comes up to the door and she waves me in and she sits me down, and I'm in the chair under that light that the dentist always uses, and people are poking at my teeth, and then the orthodontist comes over and tells me that I'm lucky, and thankfully nothing was wrong with my teeth. So my mom let out a big sigh of relief after that. So then we get back in the car and we head over to the doctor's office, and first thing the doctor tells me is, what did I tell you about wearing a helmet when you ride your bike? And I was not happy. I was super embarrassed, and my mom started bursting out laughing, and it made me cry again.
Did you wear your helmet when you rode your bike as a kid?
I can't remember, but I want to say I did.
Probably not, because you can't remember. Probably hit your head a few too many times.
Yeah, this scar really did a number on me. So I told the doctor what happened, and it was obviously embarrassing to say that I tripped and fell on the sidewalk while I was just walking. So we cleaned out the cut, and I had rocks and stuff in there from the sidewalk, and he tells me that when he puts the ointment in my cut, it's going to hurt extremely bad. And I wasn't prepared for how badly it was going to hurt. And so he tells me I have to wear a patch over my cut for the next week, and it was really embarrassing at school too, because everyone asked me about it and everyone wanted to see it, and it was pretty gross. On
top of the whole expander thing too.
Yeah, I had a very unfortunate 4th grade.
Did you have glasses?
No.
Oh, that's lucky.
Yeah, that was a plus. So I get home after this whole ordeal had happened, and my brother comes home and he's like, what happened? And I show him, and I'm still half crying, and I have cuts on my lip and cuts underneath my eye, and then this huge scar on my forehead, and my brother's trying not to freak out in front of me, but he didn't do a very good job of that, and that scared me even more again, and I thought that I was going to have this huge scar on my forehead. I mean, I do have a little one, but it's not as noticeable as I thought it would be. And I go upstairs and look at my clothes, and my favorite new tank top is completely ruined. It has blood all over it, and it's all cut up, and just not the greatest way to end my day.
No.
So I come back to school the next day, and everyone's staring at me, and everyone's asking me questions, and after this, me and Brenna, we just didn't have the greatest relationship.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, she was not happy with me.
Why not?
She was like, hey, why didn't you tell me to get off? And I told her I tried, but it just didn't happen in time.
Did she get hurt at all from the incident?
She stubbed her finger a little bit, but nothing major like me. She didn't even feel bad for me. She was kind of a brat.
Wow, what a terrible person.
I know, and so after that, we were never really as close anymore.
Those 4th graders, they can be vicious.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Stonebridge Elementary School, and the slogan was building bridges instead of walls, and she just built up a wall. Yeah, it was very unfortunate.
Never tried to tear down that wall and turn it into a bridge?
I mean, I tried, but she just was not feeling it with me, and I didn't know what to do after that.
Impenetrable.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. So that was probably the most memorable day of my childhood.
Well, I'm really glad that I sat and listened to that story.
Yeah, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen.